Prepare for trouble.
And make it double. To unite all peoples within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse.
James.
Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of the light.
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, Fett.
Alright, so Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu versions are the next Pokemon games. The first Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch. And we are going to be discussing the reveal that just recently happened. This is one of the earliest reaction videos we've ever done, actually. First in a while, at least. So, we got our questions all lined up and ready to go. Although I have to scroll up to them now after typing out our very, very mediocre attempt at doing the Team Rocket motto from the original season.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be discussing Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee's reveal. By the way, I'm TheJamesRolls.
I'm Meowth. I'm Green Covers Gaming.
I'm Gatorfit.
Gatorfit. And he's Pancake Armor.
Pancake the robot.
Yeah. So we're just gonna, hopefully Pancake doesn't sound like a robot through the entirety of it. We're just gonna roll with it. No puns, please. We're just gonna go forward with it. Hopefully issues work themselves out. So yeah, Gator, Mr. Question Man, let's line up that first question. Although, what order are we actually going in, since we...
Well, but dude, how about we do James, then Pancake, then me, and then like how we did that intro.
All right, that works. So Gator, how about we get that first question going?
Alrighty then. So the first question is, what were you expecting the game to be like before the reveal trailer?
Well, just in general, because these games, funnily enough, were leaked onto 4chan of all places on April 1st, so nobody really expected them to actually be legitimate, but I was just expecting what the leaks had described. Basically a Kanto-like remake, just HD Kanto, basically. HD Yellow. I wasn't really expecting anything too groundbreaking, although what is nice is the reveal of something I think's in the questions later that we're going to talk about, which I did like. So, yeah, that was, I was just expecting what the leaks described. That's all I can really say about that.
Okay, do I sound like...
You were fine for a moment, and then you kind of trod off into robotness.
Alright, just tell me if I sound like a robot at any point in time. Feel free to interrupt me at any point in time, really. Okay?
Yep.
What I was expecting from the games wasn't really that much. I was just expecting what the leaks said it would be, really. But, I was kind of expecting it to look like because the art was a little bit different. That's all I have to say.
It's my turn. Well, what I was expecting from the games, really, I thought the leaks were false, part of the reason I thought the leaks were false because pretty much, the past years of being Pokemon games, all the leaks have been false. So I always thought the Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu leaks were false until the actual reveal trailer and all that. And which I thought before were actually going to probably be Gen 8. Which that's going to be in 2019 that I know of, unless it's something else. But I'm pretty sure they confirmed that Gen 8's coming in 2019, or at least the main. I guess these are not. I guess because I said they're not really main games, even though they still look like main games, really to me. Even though it kind of looks like a remake of Yellow, without the whole wild battle thing, which we'll talk about later in question 5. Yeah, I was expecting those leaks being true, because we never had Pokemon Gray, we never had Pokemon Z, we never had Pokemon Stars, so I was expecting them to be full. So I was like really surprised, which I mean I was fine if we went back to Kanto or anything. I wasn't like upset that it wasn't like that it's gonna be Kanto, but you but like but because I was expecting it being Gen 8, Gen 1 remakes, or Gen 4 remakes, one of those three. But I wasn't expecting it like to be like Let's Go Eevee and or the Let's Go Pikachu and the leaks and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, if you've seen our E3 discussion, you know that I was excited about these rumors, although we weren't really exactly sure at the time if they were true or not, because as Brandon said, a lot of the previous Pokemon rumors were proven to be false, such as Pokemon Gray and Stars and things like that. Um, and I'm happy to see that the rumors turned out to be true, because I liked the idea of like an HD remake for Kanto. We'll get more about that later on in the discussion. But now for the next question. Since this is a return to Kanto.
1 second. As far as I remember, there were no rumors about a Gray version, and for a Z version, people just kind of hoped that would happen, because X and Y were very disappointing, and Zygarde was pretty much left in the dust and was kind of screwed, because X and Y was, like, pretty much uncompleted. But Stars, there were rumors, and pretty much according to the leak rumor, whatever, about the Let's Go games, this game was built off of what was going to be Stars. At least according to Kotaku and a couple other sources. But, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in. Question 2 now.
Okay. Since it's a return to Kanto, do you think Kanto has changed much in the last 20 plus years?
No. They pretty much said that this is inspired by Yellow. So I don't expect it to change. I just expect it to be, hey, they pretty much said it in the trailer. Your first game in a new style. So pretty much it's like a carbon copy of Yellow, except now they have Eevee as another starter option, depending on, the version you play. So yeah, I don't think it's changed much at all. Really, the only change is going to be something we're talking about later to simplify the game. But yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. I hope, though, because I do believe that the Sevi Islands were only in Fire Red and Leaf Green, I do hope the Sevi Islands are in this remake, because I would really like to see those in HD. But otherwise, I think Kanto is pretty much the same.
I'm expecting there to be a little bit of change, because the remakes always show change at least a little bit, And since this is a remake, I'm expecting Kanto to change just a little bit. Not really look like what it looked like in Johto, in Gold and Silver. But just a tiny bit of change is all I'm expecting. Not big, important change.
I kind of agree that I don't think it's really going to change really much at all. Like, I would love to see the Seven Islands, but also I have one of my best friends. He's really excited about this game because he hasn't played a Pokemon game in like the past since like really Gen 5 was the last Pokemon game that he played. Well, I mean, he has seen Let's Plays of Gen 6 and 7. But his last main Pokemon game he played was Black and White and everything, and he really loves like Gen 1 and everything as well. Because that's one of the games that he grew up with. And he also I think this is actually because I know Pokemon Red is his and the Fire Red and Leaf Green is his second favorite Pokemon game, which his favorite is Pokemon Platinum. But yeah, I know how but he did mention how with the whole Sevi Islands thing, so which I would love to see the Sevi Islands in the remakes, but my friend did mention that it would be fine without the Sevi Islands. Seven Islands was kind of the whole story thing with the Seven Islands was kind of made with the whole you can trade between Ruby and Sapphire and all that. So, and the story was kind of supposed to be about getting the different stones so you can trade between Ruby and Sapphire and all that. So which I don't know how they'll do that or whatever. How they probably would have to change some of the story with the Seven Islands if they do have the which I would love to see the Seven Islands because that added quite a bit more gameplay and everything and game to the game because Gen 1 really didn't have much post game besides, catching catching all the Pokemon and the legendaries, really. Which the Seven Islands and the Wheat and Fire Red and Leaf Green added a bunch of it. So, but hoping for the Seven Islands, but I mean, I don't think it would be that much if they don't have it, and they could also have something else like other post game stuff they might add that I haven't done before, like anything or stuff that they have done in the past or something like that. Like for example, how they added Battlefront 2 and Emerald, which I know there was never a Battlefront 2 and Fire Red Leaf Green at all. But I imagine like if we had like something like that, of course they probably won't do that because this game's supposed to be more casual and more to the casual audience and not as challenging, I guess. So I don't see them bringing that back at least for the Battlefront 2 for at least these remakes. But I don't think. Plus, I don't think it will. The Kanto won't change that much because they'll look like it's going to be a remake of Yellow, and this is just the first time we got a remake of Yellow and everything. And I kind of want it to be a remake of Yellow and not really much change doing anything. And I kind of want stuff to return that was in Yellow that aren't in White and Blue or not in the remakes, like how they had like Jesse, James, and everything. Cool to see Jesse and James and Meow and all of them in Pokemon Yellow. Because I mean, in Let's Go Pikachu, because it'll be interesting to see. Because this is more of like a remake with Yellow, so yeah. But I don't think it really changed much because the Kanto's not going to change much because we already have like sequels, Gold and Silver, which are sequels, which takes 3 years after Kanto, which. But they because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a yellow remake and everything, pretty much. With some differences in that there and here and there.
So I'm not quite sure what kind of differences they could do if there are going to be any. But did you guys watch that G.A.M.E Explain analysis? Because in that one they mentioned that one of the routes, like a bicycle route or something, has been changed pretty significantly in Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. So I think if they're going to do anything, they're probably going to change a couple of routes here and there, but nothing too extreme or anything like that.
I think, according to their explanation in that analysis, which I think is the correct thing, Cycling Road's no longer Cycling Road because of the aspect of having two players in, which we'll talk about a little bit later, because like having one character be on a bike and not the other would be kind of weird, so I can see why they did that. But other than that, I don't really see much change. Other than, of course, that Go Park with the integration with Pokemon Go, but that's like really the only other thing.
Yeah, we'll save that for when we talk about other stuff later on. So the next question is, what new things would you like to see in Kanto?
Well, I would like to. It's kind of hard because we just mentioned Sevi Islands, because those weren't in Yellow, so I would like to see them adapt it from Fire Red and Leaf Green, which they kind of did, because that previously mentioned G.A.M.E Explain analysis, some of those areas they showed were kind of modeled after what the towns looked like in Fire Red and Leaf Green, so that's my hope, that it's kind of like a Yellow remake, but it still takes inspiration from the designs from Fire Red and Leaf Green, which gives me hope for Sevi Islands. As far as other things I'd like to see, I don't know, just it's hard because like I would love to see this, that, and the other, but realistically, these games are too casual to be more. These games are so casual that I can't really see them making things all too difficult or having all these extra side challenges to do. So, yeah, I don't think I'd like personally, I would love to see new things, but just because of how casual this game is, I think they're not gonna add anything new. So, I'm just gonna leave it at that, I guess.
Well, I don't want to be the Pikachu return. But since this is a remake of Kanto, so I want to see a Battle Frontier in Kanto this time around. Because I would really like the Battle Frontier return It hasn't been any game since like Gen 4 or whatever. So, but like James says, games are just casual, so I don't add any challenge at all, like ever, into this game, or just like, not games like them all and just like the original one. That's really
Okay, well, I mean, Pancake was pretty much all about the whole time almost there. Like a little, like you heard in it sort of here in a little bit, especially at the beginning, but he was a robot for a little bit there for quite some time. But yeah, which I kind of talked like I pretty much talked about most of my stuff of new things that I would like to see in Kanto because I did mention the Pacific Islands, and then I mentioned the Battlefront 2, which I don't think will be in there because they're going for the more casual, simple route. So I don't think Battlefront 2 is not that easy, especially if you play an inboard version and all that, which is where it introduced and has the best Battlefront tier is Pokemon Emerald has though, and they even have it for other games later on. But one thing I have not mentioned I would like to see is Mega Evolutions. That's like one thing I want to see is Mega Evolutions. That's what the one disappointing thing about Generation 7 that they didn't really introduce any more Mega Evolutions that were from Generation 6. So like like that's like one of the best things I liked about Generation 6 was the Mega Evolutions. Which and plus also even if they don't introduce more Mega Evolutions, even if they don't release more Mega Evolutions, maybe still have Mega Evolutions because a lot of the Pokemon that had Mega Evolutions were from Kanto. So maybe I'd like to see that. And also with the whole Alola thing, I don't think that's going to happen because this is in Kanto, not Alola. So I don't think we'll see any Alola forms or anything. I think it'll just be the normal Kanto forms of I think we just will see the normal Exeggutor, not the one with the very long neck. That looks really weird. Yeah, but I think we'll just the normal forms of the Pokemon in Kanto. But I would love to see evolutions added to the game because that'd be that's one thing I did like about Generation 6.
I thought they already confirmed that a lot of forms would be in Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu.
Yes, they did. They did. It was in the Q&A after the reveal of the games. I think it was Masuda who confirmed it. He said that they'd be in there.
I didn't watch the Q&A, so.
Well, that's why you gotta watch the full conference on the Pokemon Company's official YouTube channel. Shout out!
Well, I watched the conference. They posted the conference, but I didn't see the Q&A part.
All right, well, new things I would like to see in Kanto. To be completely honest, I have no idea what the Battle Frontier or Sebi Islands are because I haven't played the GBA Pokemon games. So the only real new thing I can really think about would be like a clothing store like you saw in X and Y. They're probably going to have one for Eevee and Pikachu because they showed that you can customize those Pokemon. So I'd like to be able to see the option to customize your trainer as well because I really like that feature in X and Y. But who knows what they're going to do. Next question is, do you think...
Hold on. I think the clothing thing might be in Celadon City with, that I know you haven't played I guess you haven't played enough of Red and Blue or any of the Gen 1 games to get to Celadon City. No, wait, is it Celadon?
I got to the boat in yellow and haven't played it since.
Where is this? Where the town is? Where's the grass gym?
Yeah, that's Celadon.
Is that? Okay. I was making sure I didn't confuse the city's names. Celadon, yeah. Yeah, because because there's like the whole big shopping. We can like buy different stuff. So I think they would have it in that city maybe if they do that.
All right, this next question is kind of a weird one. Do you think wild Pokemon will be hiding in tall grass or will be on the overworld?
Oh, we should have proofread the questions a little bit more because it was confirmed that there will unfortunately not be traditional wild battles. It will just be...
Thank God!
Boo! Get out of here!
That's the stupidest.
Good
scene I've ever.
riddance, Wild Encounters.
Hey, you. Wild Encounters, the most fun thing in the original Pokemon game, all Pokemon games, and getting rid of it is an insult. An insult to Pokemon fans and an insult to people's intelligence.
You say they're the most fun part of the original Pokemon? That's why the original Pokemon suck! Oh!
Anyways.
I don't really care for you. Oh, whatever.
No, go ahead. You can finish your thought.
I don't really care for the original Pokemon games because my first game was Hoenn. But still, it's a wild Pokemon without having to see on the overworld. It's fun, at least for me. I find it fun and enjoyable. And I just can't live with it. I just can't live with the fact that you can't find wild Pokemon by running in the tall grass anymore. It's just stupid. It's an insult. It's the worst decision they could make in this game. They could have did both. They could have made wild Pokemon encounters and world Pokemon, but they just decided to go, well, it's not different that's been in the series since it started. Let's just make it more like Earthbound. I have no problems with it being like Earthbound, but Overworld Pokemon that are legendaries is just dumb.
Somebody got triggered.
My turn then? Or James?
No, it's still my turn. So, unfortunately, yes, Leader Gator U is the only one who's happy with no traditional wild Pokemon encounters. I mean, to their credit, at least you can still encounter wild Pokemon via the overworld. It's not like it's, hey, just run through the route and battle trainers. So at least you can battle, well, not really battle overworld Pokemon since the catching system's like Go, and that's the next question. But yeah, doing the overworld only encounters, I get it, because again, this is going to be said a lot, these games are more casual. They're for the people that just got back into the series with Pokemon Go. So they're trying to make it as casual as possible, and that means sacrificing the regular wild Pokemon encounter system. At least there's still Pokemon catchable via the overworld. At least there's that. I think I'd be a lot more sour on it if there were no overworld Pokemon. Although they could have had a perfect balance of keeping the natural wild Pokemon system and have Pokemon shown in the overworld, and if you run into the Pokemon via the overworld, they can be ones with, like, their special ability or a special egg move or something. They could have done that. That would have been pretty cool. But no, we're just stuck to overworld-only encounters. I get it. It sucks, but I get it. And that's all I really have to say about that.
I don't know if you guys
I'm not.
But I already said what I was going to say. So...
Yeah, we know Pancake. We know. I was gonna plan on going next, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of like ditching the whole wild battle thing. Which I mean, I'm fine if I'm fine if it was. I'm fine with it being an overworld this time around, but like I still want battling. I still want to battle Pokemon. I guess if it's not, even if we know what the Pokemon we're gonna battle, I still want to at least know that we're battling it and not just get one into it and then just throw a Pokeball and catch it. I want to at least battle it and weaken it and everything like a normal Pokemon game is. And ever since the originals and all that, and it works really well. Like it does not make sense. I mean, I know they said they're going for more casual, but like, how are they gonna balance that out and everything? Like, how are they gonna balance this out with playing the game? Because that's like part of the training and all that is battling Pokemon in the wild and everything, and you gain a bunch of experience. And there's a lot of people that like especially like the older Pokemon games where it's quite a bit more difficult. The Pokemon games were quite a bit more difficult than they a little bit are now. With you can and people grinded by just training in the wild. Because I'm just afraid that there are not going to be enough trainers to like battle so your Pokemon can, because like I'm just afraid that like your Pokemon might be under leveled unless they like of course they which I think they just have to have enough trainers, or they give you more experience, or what to balance. I just wondering how they will balance that out and everything. Just
They confirmed that you'll still get experience from catching Pokemon in the wild.
yeah, I mean, I know, but I know because in Generation 6 you get experience by if you even throw a Pokeball. They introduced that in Generation 6, but still, I mean, I guess that, but still, because because at least when battling, because there's people that don't catch every single Pokemon. I'm one of those people that only catch one Pokemon of one type of Pokemon, not type, but just one species of Pokemon. I don't catch multiple species of the same Pokemon when playing a Pokemon game. So, knowing how I just see that in order to have gained a bunch of experience, like you said, with catching Pokemon and everything, I just see people catching so many Pokemon at a time just so it can level up instead of just and then you just have so many Pokemon and everything, and just you have to you waste them out of your box and everything and all that, which will get annoying over and over, will get annoying and all that. So I was wondering how they'll do that, and also I just find it interesting how time even in the Pokemon anime, like especially at the beginning, and I guess in Black and White, I guess a little bit in Black and White, how Ash was at the beginning of those series, Ash was made fun of whenever he just threw a Pokeball at a Pokemon instead of battling it first. So they even made fun of that whole thing in the Pokemon anime. It's oh, you're not supposed to throw a Pokeball first. You're supposed to weaken the Pokemon and then catch it and all that, and everything. So, which I mean, I understand why he did in the original because he didn't know. In the later versions and in the later anime, really, you have 4 other regions where you and everything, and you still throw the Pokeball first. But I mean, I understand why he did in the original because it's the original Pokemon and everything at first, and also the first Pokemon that he was going against is a Caterpie, so it's not. But he did catch on his first try, but anything after that, he wouldn't be able to catch. And I think he did it with. I don't remember if he did it with Pidgey or not. Well, I know not Pidgey, Pidgeotto, because it was Pidgeotto that he battled second. Pokeball first or not. I know he did catch it though. I know because he did battle it. I just find it interesting how they're doing that. I just hate that they're going for the easy route and everything, which I understand why they doing because they said they're trying to get the casual players back who haven't really played it really since Gen 2 or even Gen 1 even. Because there are people that haven't played Pokemon since Gen 2 or Gen 1. A lot of fans left after Gen 2 because they didn't like Gen 3 that much because Gen 3 didn't have every single Pokemon and only had some Pokemon, which part of the reason why they added Fire Red and Green because of the hate toward Ruby and Sapphire at the time of when it first released. Anyway, but yeah, I think they should just keep the wild Pokemon battle because it's a feature of a Pokemon game, and it's not Pokemon without. Even if they still have an overworld, it's not Pokemon without battling. That's the whole. Even though there are trainer battles, but there's no you don't battle Pokemon. Even if it's in the overworld or even if it's in a random encounter, at least make it battling.
All right, so I'm the only one here who likes that they're getting rid of wild encounters. So I know you guys are probably going to scream at me when I say this, but just hear me out. Screw wild battles. Thank God they're gone. Okay, I'm just kidding. So the reason why I'm happy about this is because I really do not like random battles in RPGs. I don't like them in Earthbound Beginnings or Final Fantasy VII or any of the Pokemon games or anything like that. So I'm really glad that they're only going to have trainer battles this time around. And I'm also happy that you still get experience from catching Pokemon, so you don't have to worry about whether or not there's enough trainers in the world for your Pokemon to have enough experience or anything like that. So I'm glad they're getting rid of that. And the reason why is because personally, I feel that random encounters kind of break the flow of the gameplay. If you're going through Mount Moon and you didn't buy any repels before you go in there,
But that's
then
about repels.
you get 1 moment, please. You go through there and you don't have enough repels, whether or not you don't have enough money or anything like that. You're running into Pokemon constantly, and if you do have repels, then you're going to have to go through your menu multiple times. From the earlier generations or the later generations, the text box will interrupt the gameplay. So no matter what, your gameplay is getting interrupted, and I just think that it really breaks the flow of everything. So I'm really glad that they're getting rid of it, because I just can't stand random encounters. Now, objectively, what they could have done is probably, if you run into the Pokemon in the overworld, maybe you could have still battled them or something like that. That probably could have been a good idea as well. But I'm just so glad that random encounters are gone. And I want to make one more comparison real quick, and to stress my point of why I like this. If you look at the Earthbound games, the Earthbound, you see the enemies on the overworld and you can battle them, or you can avoid them if you want. But in Earthbound Beginnings, when you're trying to get from point A to point B, you're getting constantly bombarded by enemies. So that's why I'm glad they're getting rid of wild encounters. They're likely going to return in Gen 8 next year, probably. But as for right now, good riddance wild encounters.
Everybody comes if you have enough money. and I'd rather have that than no battling at all. That's the thing. Like, if you get experience when you battle. Well, I mean, you did say you get experience when you catch Pokemon. But I don't want to catch 1,000 of the same Pokemon. That's to level up and everything.
And I don't want to battle 1,000 of the same Pokemon.
I have a battle and just
Get
catching
over it.
1,000.
You get over it.
You're saying that you don't want to play the game, basically. You don't want to spend the time raising your Pokemon. And don't compare this to Earthbound Beginnings at all, because Earthbound Beginnings' battle system was broken.
I mean, I haven't played the Earthbound
I would disagree with you with that.
Played the Earthbound series at all, so I don't know how like the whole system works and all that. So I can't really talk about Earthbound. But Pokemon, I can talk a big time. I just think that Gator's just lazy. That's all.
Level grinding is stupid. Okay, moving on. What are your thoughts on the catching system?
Wait. Can you just combine these next two questions?
Okay. What are your thoughts on the catching system and two-player mode?
Well, I guess I can just start out with, I mean, these are kind of two short answers for me anyway. Catching system being like Pokemon Go, I get it. Again, I get it. Simplified, casual, I get it. It sucks though. I hate it. Because like Brandon said, I'd rather weaken the Pokemon down with my own Pokemon. I would love to do that. I would love if that was like an option, like, hey, you want to play the traditional style you're used to for, the advanced players? But I don't think that's going to happen. So catching system being like Go, I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. And the two-player co-op, unfortunately, it's only local co-op, which, it's Nintendo. They're not really too good with online, although they have gotten better in the last decade. But local co-op multiplayer, I think it's pretty cool. Kind of broken, since you can, as shown in the trailer, you can double team trainer battles, like that poor bug catcher on Nugget Bridge. So yeah, I like the two-player thing. Hopefully it's not too busted. And the catching system being like, I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. So that's really all I have to say about those two systems. Not battle systems, but systems.
I think he doesn't like that system.
Alright, catching system. Hate it. Two-player mode. Don't like it.
Well, my thoughts on catch system, yeah, also don't like it as much with the whole just catching Pokemon, just throwing a Pokeball when you just first appear. Like, I never liked that in Pokemon. Like, that's probably the reason why I haven't really played Pokemon Go and, like, pretty much left Pokemon Go after pretty much a week at launch and never really came back, except, like, I did download it once around the time when, like, Johto came out, but then I deleted it like after a day or two again. But Pokemon Go. But yeah, the catching system. I just do wish that I had it where you still battle, but then after you battle, you can like go through the whole. Then you can transition into Pokemon Go style of catching. Like, why can't I just do that where you still battle and then you can just transition into or have the option or at least have the option, even if you don't want that, at least have the option to just do the catch system if you want. But no, they don't do that because they just want to focus. Because they don't. I guess they don't care about the hardcore players or the people who still want the traditional way. I guess. But I do. But I do want to say a thing is I do like how you can use your Joy-Con to throw the Pokeballs and all that. Like using Joy-Con. That's really cool though. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, but it was pretty cool that you actually can use the Joy-Cons to throw Pokeballs. That's really interesting. And also the Pokeball Controller, which we'll talk about later. That's a later question. But the two-player system, that looks really cool. Like the two-player system, like I kind of wish it was online. Like it would have been better if it was online. And like I said, yeah, I know Nintendo online system hasn't been the best, but it would have been a little better if it was online. But local players, nice because like I have friends who probably would get this game and come over and able to play two-player. Like I have a friend that's who's going to get a Switch and going to get this game and everything, which is probably which Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is the game that's getting him buying a Switch. So, and plus the thing, even though does have Breath of the Wild, but he has the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild, so which is another reason why he doesn't have a Switch because he also has a Wii U. He has a Wii U, so he was able to get Breath of the Wild. And so, but now with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, he said he's planning to get a Switch. So, but yeah, I love the two. I love that they introduced the two-player system and everything. Having that have another person with you. Even though I wish it was also online, so you can have people like so I can so you guys can come into my game and all that. But sadly, it's local multiplayer. But at least it's two-player. At least we get another player playing in the same game. That at least we still have that.
All right, so my thoughts on the catching system. I already stressed my point that I'm glad they're getting rid of our own encounters, but the process of actually catching the Pokemon where you throw the Joy-Con, I think that's kind of cool. And I really hope they use the HD Rumble so they can feel the Pokemon inside the Pokeball when trying to catch it, because I think that'd be really awesome. And I also love motion controls, so I'm all for this catching system. And as for before I continue on, have they confirmed if they're using touch controls in handheld mode, or is it still going to be using the Joy-Cons?
I don't think they have commented on that, so I can't really say anything one way or the other.
All right. Well, as for the two-player mode, I think this is a pretty cool idea because when I was watching this, the first thought that came to mind was a parent who grew up with the original games would be able to play multiplayer and teach their children playing through Kanto in this new game. So I think that would be really cool, and I think there's a lot of opportunities with that. But it is pretty limited with the fact that it's local multiplayer only, and I don't quite understand that because Animal Crossing did a great way of handling multiplayer. So I don't know why they didn't just follow what Animal Crossing did. So hopefully, if two-player mode returns in Gen 8, that will be online. And it still really confuses me because they have confirmed that there will be online battles in this game, but you can't run around together online. That really confuses me. But I'm still happy that there'll be a two-player mode, even if I can't really experience it myself, because nobody I know likes Pokemon, at least in real life. All right, so next question: What do you think about having the ability to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go into the Let's Go games?
Well, I'm going to actually combine this with question 9, which is, do you think there will be a way to transfer Pokemon from the 3DS games into the Let's Go games as well? As far as 3DS to Let's Go, I think Pokemon Bank will be on the Switch eventually, probably for the Generation 9, and then they'll say, hey, remember Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu? Yeah, you can transfer stuff like that too, if you want. So I think, yes, you'll be able to do the 3DS games eventually, not right away, because they'll want it to be more, hey, this is a Pokemon Go-like game, so transfer from Go only. But I think eventually they'll do 3DS. But transferring from Pokemon Go to the Let's Go games, it's cool, it's nice, gives people an incentive to play Pokemon Go, whether or not they're trying it for the first time or whether they're coming back to it. So whatever makes Niantic and Nintendo more money, I guess go for it. Good for them.
Go for it.
I'm done.
So, I hope that someday they make a feature to transfer Pokemon from the Pokemon 3DS games. Hold on.
He's dead.
Okay, sorry.
Ed.
I'm alive. Okay. Anyways, but I don't think it will be for Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu. I think it will be for Generation 8. The Pokemon Go thing really makes it seem like that this game is just an attempt to revive Pokemon Go. Because Pokemon Go has been dead for a while, and for good reasons. But with the whole Pokemon Go transfer thing, it really makes it feel like that this game's sole purpose in existence is to revive Pokemon Go. And I will be using this feature because I still have my Pokemon Go to transfer all my Pokemon. No, not all of them. But I won't use it that often. And more likely than not, I'm just going to catch my Pokemon in the overworld. But, yeah, it really just makes this game just feel like a attempt, a revival attempt, and it's really just not my thing, you know. So that's all I have.
Real quick, what was I gonna say? Oh, I wouldn't say Pokemon Go's dead because it still makes over $1 million a day. So I mean,
But it's not millions of players that still play it, so.
yeah, there's still like millions of players, and it makes $1 million a day still. So I wouldn't say it's dead, but yeah.
But
Yeah,
a lot
actually,
of
guess-
Conrad never stopped playing it.
Well, I guess I
but a
think
lot
the
of
thing
people stop playing.
I think the thing is that there are games that have dropped, like people playing so much that it's considered dead, but it's not really dead because there's still millions of people playing it. But it's considered dead by a lot of people because just how much it dropped a player base of people who can still play it. So I think it's just a significant amount to be called it's dead, even though there's still millions of players that play it. Like there's definitely other games out there that have the same thing too. That still millions of players play it, but it's still dead because like majority of people stop playing, I guess. But anyway, yeah. But nothing about that. We can start questions 7 and 9, which able to transfer Pokemon Go. But the thing is, I really haven't really played Pokemon Go really since months before it kind of came out for like the first few weeks or so. When it was originally launched, because I'm not the biggest fan of Pokemon Go, which I probably won't use it because it's a Gen 1 sort of remake of Yellow, I guess. And like most of the Pokemon, it's not all the Pokemon I can catch in Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, which I'm thinking of getting Let's Go Pikachu. But yeah, I think it's really good for people who play Pokemon Go, or who casually play Pokemon Go and anything, even though I really don't at all. So, which is good for them and all that. Which I wish that Pokemon Go just remains dead because I don't really like Pokemon Go, but it's cool for people who still play Pokemon Go and anything. And now for question number 9. They might do They might use Pokemon Bank. I don't know if they're going to use Pokemon Bank because they did say this is not a main game, which I think part of the reason they say it's not a main game because the whole catching system thing. Because if they kept with the whole catching system, they probably will say it's actually a main game though. But the thing is, they might use Pokemon Bank to transfer from the 3DS games into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Like I said, which would be cool. And which they even if it's not Pokemon Bank, hopefully there's a way to transfer Pokemon from the 3DS into the game. Let's Go games and everything. So I do hope to see Pokemon Bank and all that with that and everything. But I guess you just never know anything. And like I said, they might not be able to transfer them to Let's Go games, but you might transfer them from maybe go to Gen 8 because the Gen 8s are actually going to be, I guess, the first. I guess what they call the main game, not what I call the main game, because I call Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee main games to me, but to Nintendo / I guess Game Freak, they don't count Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee as the main games, even though I do. So I guess maybe Gen 8 you might be able to transfer from 3DS to Gen 8 games, but not Let's Go games because it's not really counts the main game. So, but of course, but at the same time, they did have games like they had Coliseum and XD during Generation 3 to transfer to be Sapphire and Emerald and Fire and Leaf, all that. Transfer between XD and Coliseum. So they might, even though I don't think any of the other spin-offs were able to do that. But I mean, XD and Coliseum were also RPG. Even though they were spin-offs, were still an RPG games. So I don't exactly know if they will be, but I hope they use like Pokemon Bank or something similar where you can.
Real quick, the president of Pokemon did call them main games. I don't know why anybody thinks that they aren't. The president of Pokemon said they are, so.
I saw that, like, a lot of people are saying that they aren't, and I also saw on the Pokemon website, it said they are main game. Like, it said on the website that they're the main line of Pokemon RPGs and everything. And I think the whole confusion is, like, then they later said that the core Pokemon games are coming in 2019, which I think they mean by core Pokemon games, I think they mean Gen 8. Like, I think that's what they meant. So, like, that's because I thought they were main games, but I guess a lot of people saying that they think they aren't. But I think they said they confirmed they are main games.
Yeah, these games are just like on a brand new timeline. There's the main timeline, the remake timeline, which is I guess more so called the Mega Evolution timeline, where Megas exist, and then now there's this Let's Go timeline.
I wonder how Sun and Moon works with that, because there's no Megas in Sun and Moon. If that's on the normal timeline or whatever.
No, they're Megas in Sun and Moon. You just don't get them until the post game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't played the post game, so that's probably why I haven't played the post game.
Wouldn't Mega Evolutions eventually be discovered in the Prime timeline, though?
Well, no. From like X and Y onward is considered kind of like a different timeline because of the whole. They got
the there's first and second gen, that's a timeline. Then there's third through fifth gen, that's a timeline. Then there's like sixth through now.
I don't really understand it. I think eventually in the Prime timeline, Mega Evolutions will be discovered. But whatever, let's just let Gator say his feelings, because I'm pretty sure he's been waiting patiently enough.
Real quick, if Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu are considered mainline games, what generation would they be considered? Like, would they be Gen 1 games, or how would that work?
They're Gen 7.
I think Gen 7, because technically Gen 1 Fire Red and Leaf Green were considered Gen 3. So, yeah, I think they would be Gen 7.
Yeah, they're Gen 7. It's been confirmed to be Gen 7, part of that generation family.
Yeah, and I would like to see all the other Pokemon after Gen 1, after the post game. Because Fire Red and Leaf Green had pretty much just the main 150 until the post game, really. So that's probably what's going to happen, is that you probably see like the first 150, but then you get to like the post game or after you beat the game, you can see all the that came after Gen 1.
Masuda said it would only be the original 151, but I hope he's just saying that as a preface to the main game, and then if there is post game, then I do think they'll do what they did in Fire Red and Leaf Green, but maybe not.
Technically 152 because they did confirm there would be a brand new Pokemon in this game.
That is true. Yes, but
52.
yeah, he said the original 151 plus Alola forms, and then yeah, that special Pokemon. But yeah, I hope they do the Fire Red Leaf Green thing. They probably won't have all 800 Pokemon after the National Pokedex if they do it. Probably like maybe just the evolutions of certain Pokemon, except Pikachu and Eevee, because they've been confirmed not be able to evolve since these are Yellow remakes after all, which is dumb on Eevee's part because it has 8 evolutions that you could make it so much better. But
I mean, to be fair, Fire Red Leaf Green didn't have the Johto evolution, so.
All right, well, going back on track because I didn't get a chance to answer this question.
7 and 9.
All right, so the questions were: what do you think of the ability to transfer Pokemon from Go and into Let's Go, and do I think the 3DS games will be compatible? I think the Pokemon Go transferring, I think that was kind of a no-brainer when these leaks first came out. So I'm glad they're doing that, and I'm especially happy about that because I started playing Pokemon X and Go roughly around the same time. And whenever I played Pokemon Go, it was kind of hard to feel motivated because I didn't really like the battle system in that game. And I kind of felt like it was a waste of time to catch those Pokemon when I couldn't transfer them into a main game. So I'm glad that's going to be possible in Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. As for the 3DS Pokemon, if that is possible, it's likely only going to be Kanto Pokemon. I can't see them doing any other region unless they do like a post-game update where they introduce more regional Pokemon into the game. We'll get to that. We'll get into that later. But next question: what are your thoughts on the Pokeball Controller?
I am in love with the Pokeball Plus. I cannot wait to use it. It's basically the new Pokewalker 2, which is so good, and you'll actually be able to have the Pokemon you put inside the Pokeball make its noises, which is so cool. I can't wait to use it. I really love this. It's really a Joy-Con too when you think about it, which is amazing. So I'm really happy with it, and I cannot wait to use it. And I gotta commend Nintendo, because Game Freak did confirm that Nintendo helped them make the Pokeball and make it feel special with the interaction with your Pokemon inside of it. So thank you, Nintendo, for helping make my dreams come true.
Believe it or not, this is my favorite new feature in this game. I actually really like the Pokeball controller. I think it's a really cool addition. It reminds me of the Pokewalker, which was one of my favorite fiends in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I hope it acts like a regular controller for other games like Smash Bros. Because I think that would be really funny to play Smash Bros. With a Pokeball controller. But they probably won't do that. But I actually really like the Pokeball controller, and it's the best decision they've made for this game.
Yeah, real quick, the first thing I thought of when they revealed the Pokeball Plus controller was the Smash Brothers competitive player Esam. He plays as Pikachu as his main, and I'm just I'm imagining him going to a Smash tournament, like a big deal Smash tournament, and using a Pokeball Plus Joy-Con to play Smash Brothers as Pikachu. I imagined it as soon as I saw the Pokeball Plus, and I can't get it out of my head, and I hope that it can work for other games like Smash, because I would love to see Esam use Pikachu in a Smash tournament using the Pokeball Joy-Con. That would be amazing.
It would be awesome if a Smash Brothers Switch tournament ended with one player using the Pokeball controller and another person using the right Joy-Con only. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, the Pokemon controller is awesome. Like, oh my god, like that's awesome. They can use Astro Pokemon. I'm not Astro Pokeball, not Pokemon. Astro Pokeball to catch Pokemon and all that, just to throw it like a Joy-Con and everything, which is really nice. And also, I like how it's an expansion of what the Pokeblocker was like, and everything, and you actually can use the Pokeball to throw catch Pokemon, which is really cool and all. And I also like how it makes the sound of the actual Pokemon and everything. So like it's a better form of the Pokewalker and everything. And stuff like that. And at least with this, you can like it's just nice to have and everything. compared to the Pokewalker, where they didn't really do much. This Pokeball controller is just awesome. Just looks amazing and all that. And also I like to say, like, I have like another question I like to add to this whole list and everything. But like, which I'll say before, which I won't talk about right now, but I'll mention, but which will be the next two questions I think we should do, which we could do them together after Gator talks about the Pokeball thing. Which my two things are, what do you guys think about the whole Pokemon able to follow you now again? Because you saw that, Eevee and all of them, and also, do you think that there will be no HMs like how they had in Sun and Moon, where you just call Pokemon? So that's my. But we can talk about after Gator talks about the Pokeball system.
Can I answer the Pokemon following you question first?
And also the whole HM if you want.
All right, I'll answer the Pokemon following question first. Yeah! That's all.
Nice. So I guess let's go those two questions next.
Gator, you got the Pokeball now.
All right. I think we can all agree that the Pokeball controller is probably the best part of all of this. It's really cool. And like, I didn't even grow up on Pokemon, and I'm still really excited about this. And I really love that you can hear the Pokemon inside of it, and it's just so cool. One thing I'm concerned about though is whether or not you could turn the volume off, because I can imagine like somebody's in a classroom and all of a sudden in the middle of a big test, you can hear like wow the fan going off while everybody's trying to study. So I kind of hope we could turn the volume off, but other than that, that Pokeball controller is awesome. I guess Brandon had questions about Pokemon following you and the HM thing, so we can answer those real quick.
I love that Pokemon are following you again. It's been a dream to have that happen again since Heart Gold, Soul Silver. As far as HMs go, they haven't really confirmed whether or not they'd be in the game. Because I know there's a scene where you can, in the trailer, where they show part of Vermilion City, and not Vermilion, Cerulean, and there's a cut bush to the south of Cerulean, and that was there in the footage they showed. So I guess I would say they're back. I would rather HMs be back than using the ride Pokemon, although they kind of said that Pokemon following you, if they're larger Pokemon, like in the trailer they showed you riding on an Onix, like larger Pokemon, you just ride straight out. So I would more so lean towards HMs are back, but some things, are kind of ride Pokemon-esque just because of how large certain Pokemon are. So that'd be my opinion on that.
I am very happy that Pokemon are able to follow you again. A feature that should have been brought back sooner, and it's finally being brought back. I couldn't be happier with it. I am very happy with this, and I'm very excited. Now, HMs, I really do not like the way HMs worked in the previous games, where you just taught it and you get it only. And that I love how they made them TMs. All of the HMs are TMs now, and I want to see that return. But I want to you can. Okay, here's how I want them to implement it. I want to see the HMs return to TMs again. But for certain Pokemon that are out with you on the overworld, if you have that Pokemon, like you have a Pokemon out that has cut, you'll be able to cut down the trees normally, like you normally would, if you teach it cut if it's a TM, if that makes any sense. But I just want to see the HMs turn into TMs. But I will say that it's probably going to be ride Pokemon again, because in a leaked screenshot, it did show the trainer riding on a Lapras, and in the trailer that we got, it showed the trainer riding on an Onix. So it's probably just going to be ride Pokemon again. which would be cool, even though I don't really care about it. I just want to see HMs be turned into TMs again because I liked that. And that was something I've been hoping for ever since Generation 4. So yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm really, with the whole Pokemon following you. I'm really excited for that. Like, cause that's like one of the really cool features I really loved about Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That like the Pokemon actually followed you behind you, and and it expanded the Pokemon Yellow. Because in Pokemon Yellow, it's just Pikachu that would follow you. At least, and I like how in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, the Gen 2 remakes, how they had Pokemon fall behind you, and it's also going to be really cool to have that returned in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Let's Go Eevee, because it's now a 3D Pokemon game with models and everything, and also better graphics as well since Gen 2 remakes. So I mean, it's been 8 years since Gen 2 remakes, which is it's just surprising how long that's been. Jeez. It didn't seem that long ago since Gen 2 remakes even came out. Jeez. We know there has been Gen 3, been since Gen 3 remakes multiple years, but still, like, Gen 2 remakes don't feel like 8 years old. At least the remakes. But yeah, but I'm really excited with them Pokemon Farm returning and everything, and just seeing all the models and 3D and HD graphics and all that with it on the Switch and everything, and also seeing that on a TV. Oh, that'd be cool. Like just see Pokemon follow you when playing with a controller on your TV and everything. So this is the first. This is the first mainline Pokemon game that you're able to play on a TV and everything. Unless you have like emulator where you can just plug in your computer through HDMI or something like. But regularly if you just use on a normal system, main Pokemon game where you'll see Pokemon on the big screen and everything. So
Well, technically, that also applies for the Game Boy Advance games because you could plug a GBA GameCube adapter cable and play Pokemon Emerald on the TV. I think that's how Chuck Conrad recorded his Let's Play of that game.
I meant normal. Yeah, well, and I think they did have something with it with Red and Blue as well. So, but I think they had like something with Coliseum or something like that. Not Coliseum, Stadium as well, or like some other system thing. You can like plug stuff in for the original games. They can put on TV, but normally you couldn't. So, but yeah, but also now for my second question, which about HMs, I don't. Well, I know, I don't think HMs will return. Like, which I'm not the biggest fan of HMs. Like, I mean, I'm used to HMs because Sun Moon was the first one that took it away and all that, so it kind of felt weird without HMs. But at the same time, I did like how I didn't have to, make a Pokemon learn to move and not able to delete it unless besides going to the move deleter or whatever. Because the only way to get rid of HMs or Pokemon is go to the move deleter, and you can't if you want to learn a good move, if you have HMs on it, you can't learn the move. So that's one of the nice things I liked about them moving it, because I'm able to do that. But the thing is, it's not that bad when it's Gen 1. Because Gen 1, cause that's the one thing about Gen 3 and Gen 4, especially Gen 3, all the time. Because you have to know Surf, you have to know Dive, you have to know Waterfall, and just Gen 3 and all that. It's like Gen 3 I guess a little bit of Gen 4, mainly Gen 3. I hated the whole you had to use Dive, Surf, Off, and all that just in the main game just to progress and all that. So which I do hope that they don't have HMs anymore, which I can see them returning just because it's Gen 1. But at the same time, this is the first Pokemon game. This is gonna be the first, besides I guess Ultra Sun, Ultra Room, Pokemon game that isn't that was not introduced of a new feature. So because you had features that were in past Pokemon games that haven't returned since then, like help and everything. So I think we will not have HMs, which but you never know because we did use HMs in Gen 1, like with cut and everything, and surf. But I don't think it will be too bad because it's Gen 1, so don't use HMs as often as it was like Gen 3 and well, as in Gen 3 meant Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, not counting Fire Red and Screen. Sapphire, Emerald, then the Gen 4, well, the HMs were pretty bad, so it's just how often you have to use it. But I'm kind of glad that I kind of removed the HMs.
All right, before I answer, could somebody explain how the Pokemon Call worked in Sun and Moon? Because I never played those games.
Ride Pokemon, you obtain them over time, and you press the Y button to call upon them. They all had their own ability. Tauros basically acted like the bike, and basically he also had to like Rock Smash, where you could break rocks. Machamp basically acted like Strength. Lapras acted like Surf, and a lot of Pokemon actually acted like Surf. Basically, Ride Pokemon were basically your HMs. You called them, and then you could do certain things.
So also the Pokemon that you call, you don't they're not your Pokemon, so you don't like battle with them. They just call. You don't actually battle with this Pokemon at all.
All right, because I was about to say that I'm going to answer the HM thing first. I was going to say that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 had a pretty smart alternative to HMs. They have a system in that game. They have a system where blades that you've obtained, you can send them off on missions to take care of stuff, and then they'll eventually get back to you over time. I think that'd be something pretty cool for what they could do here, where certain Pokemon that you capture on the overworld, you could later call them to use moves. I think that'd be also pretty great incentive to go and capture more Pokemon, even if you can't directly battle them. So they probably won't do that. I think that'd be pretty cool if they did. As for HMs, I hope they don't return because that's one of my bigger problems with the Pokemon games because it kind of like eats an attack slot and you just have those Pokemon with you. So it really sucks when you're going through an area and then you get to the end of it and realize, oh, I don't have the right Pokemon for this. I have to go all the way back and then come back over here. So I hope HMs are gone. And as for Pokemon... Pokemon following you, in case you didn't make it clear enough earlier, I'm really happy this is back because it's really cool. I love that in Pokemon Yellow how Pikachu followed you everywhere, and it's so adorable how he is on your head the entire game. It's so cute. I'm going to combine the next two questions. So, what do you think of? Do you think there will be multiple save files, and do you think we'll be able to travel to different regions?
Traveling to different regions, no, I don't think that will be in the game, unless they make it like DLC, which I doubt because Masuda said he kind of hates DLC, so I don't think that will be a thing. Multiple save files, I don't think per account there will be multiple save files, but I think obviously you can take advantage of different accounts on your Switch to technically have multiple save files. So in the base game, no multiple save files, just your Nintendo Switch account save files, and no on the different regions showing up.
I agree with James. I don't think we'll be able to travel to other regions, but the whole save file thing, I think every account will be one save file, which is all right to me because Pokemon has never done the multiple save file thing before, so it would be like normal Pokemon. And what would be the point of having multiple save files for this game since you just have one starter? Really no point. One option as starter. Is what I meant to say. But each account would probably be its own file. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to go to other regions. Which I mean, if they do that, this only would make sense because it's connected to Kanto. But if we do, I think it would be Johto, which I don't think we'll do. But the only reason I think it could be possible if it's Johto because Johto's right next. It's just connected to Johto. Even though you couldn't screen, you only went to Kanto. So Like, I doubt we'll go to other regions, and if they do that, I think it would be Johto, because Johto makes sense if you want to travel to other regions, because but of course there's also, there's also going by boat as well, which, I mean, Johto, technically in Johto, it was boat when driving to Kanto, like after you beat the Johto League, so technically, still, which you can still walk back to Johto once you beat the Kanto in Gen 2, but yeah, I don't think they'll be going back to previous generations unless it's Johto, just because it's right next to Kanto. Which you never know what they'll do, because that might add a whole ton of post game and everything. But I doubt it. I doubt they'll do that. But my thing with what the thing about multiple save files is, I love to see multiple save files be introduced into the Pokemon games. Like they did that. Like, they should have done that a long time ago. Which, I mean, I understand why they didn't do it in the original Pokemon games, because the original Pokemon games are the first few gens. I wish they still add, because there's so many RPGs that they can have multiple save files, but Pokemon's like one of them you can't and everything. Which, yes, I understand why Pancakes say you only can does it make sense because it's one starter? But at the same time, you can have, even if you have the same starter, you can create multiple different teams and everything, and so you can have different teams playing the whole game and everything if you play it multiple times. So but also that would help with, so you don't have to delete your previous file, so you don't have to start all over and not able to go back to your other file and everything. Which, I mean, I know that there hasn't been any multiple save files before in any of the Pokemon games and all that. I just wish that there are, so you don't have to delete your save, and I think it will add a lot more replay value and everything to the game, because, like, I guarantee there's people that only play the games once and delete the file and everything. Like, I think that's the whole problem, that they don't want to delete the file and everything because they played so much of it, and it's really great now that they don't want to delete the file, even if they wanted to play the game. So I think that would be nice. I think that would add a lot of more replayability, and that I think more people will play it more often and everything. And I've been wanting full save files for years. So yeah, that's like the disappointing thing about the Pokemon series, that there's only one save file. So, which, like I said, they could still have one just save file. I just wish that they introduced multiple save files, because that's like one of the greatest things in gaming ever.
I think it's a bit silly that they don't have multiple save files in the more recent games. If they do have multiple save files, it's probably going to be like one save file per account on your Switch. Because I think it'd be really silly if the save files shared between all of the accounts on the system. That'd be really silly if they did that. And as for traveling for other regions, if they're going to do that, it's probably either going to be Johto or Alola, because they did confirm Alolan form of the Kanto Pokemon would be in this game, so maybe Alola, but Johto's probably more likely. But I doubt they're going to do it for this game. I think they will for Gen 8, and I really hope they follow like a Splatoon format of post-game content where you can have where maybe more Pokemon from different regions could show up as free DLC later down the line. I think that'd be pretty cool. But if they do that, it's not going to be for Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. And we are finally at the last question. What are your final thoughts on Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu?
I like that we're going to see Kanto in HD. I do like it. I might seem critical, like, it's Kanto, we've seen it so much. And I'm kind of tired of Kanto, because we saw it through the first 4 generations in some form or another, and then it was mentioned a lot in 6th and 7th gen. But I loved Pokemon Yellow. It was my first Pokemon game, and if these games can capture my love of Yellow, I will be okay with it. I just hope they're good games. I hope that the Pokemon Go integration doesn't go too far. And I just hope that these sell well, so maybe in the future we could get Let's Go Meryl and Let's Go Togepi! Let's go to Johto! Yeah!
I generally really like Pokemon remakes. You know, I loved Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, even though I didn't really play much of the original Gold and Silver. And I really loved Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire because, like I said, Emerald was my first Pokemon game. I just want these games to be good. That's all I want, is for these games to be good. Because I like the Pokemon remakes. I think they do really good jobs on the remakes. But it's Kanto. And don't get me wrong, seeing Kanto in HD is really great. But I've played Sun and Ultra Moon, and I have heard so much references to Kanto that it's just making my brain hurt. Giovanni is literally in Ultra Moon. That's the biggest reference to Kanto that I have ever seen. And yes, I know he was in Black and White too, but he didn't have a major role in Black and White too. In Ultra Sun and Moon, he has a really major role. But Kanto in HD is alright. But I just really just am tired of the Kanto references. There was a lot in Gen 6, and there was way too many in Gen 7. And I hope by the time they make Gen 8, they are burned out of all the Kanto references they can make. I wouldn't mind seeing characters from Kanto, like Blue, Red, Misty, and Brock appear in Gen 8. But I'm getting off topic. I just hope Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are good because I really like Pokemon remakes. And hopefully this game does good, and I just hope it's good. But please, let this be the last we ever hear any reference about Kanto. Please. I know that sounds sour, but I'm just tired of hearing about it.
My thoughts is that I'm really excited for this game because I mean, Kanto's one of my favorite generations. I mean, it's not my favorite generation, but like it's one of my favorites. Like I think probably would be my third favorite generation after Gen 2 and Gen, I guess, 3. As in like just a normal gen, not the remake, not counting the remakes, like not counting the remakes. Gen 1 falls my third favorite after Gen 3 and Gen 4. After Gen 3 and Gen 2. And like as in like Gen 3 as in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and then Gen 2 Heart Gold, Soul Silver in that way, I guess. But like so technically Gen 3 and Gen 4 were better, but than Gen 1, but you know what I mean. As in like it's I guess as my third, like I guess I would say just Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, or better than Fire Red, Leaf Green, Red and Blue, and all that as well. And then Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and slash Gold, Silver, and Crystal, or better than all like if I'm saying that way. Even though I prefer the remakes of both Gen 1 and Gen 2 over their counterparts, which is interesting because Gen 3 I prefer Emerald. I'm not the biggest fan of Mega Ruby Alpha stuff, which it's still good games. But I just prefer the original, the Pokemon Emerald over both the Ruby and Sapphire and Omega Ruby Alpha stuff. Because Omega Ruby and Alpha stuff were kind of a little disappointing for me. But yeah, but I'm so excited for this game. Like, why I was kind of expecting it be Gen 8, all that next. Like, I understand why they did Gen 1 because the first game on a actual first main game on an actual TV and just not just being on a handheld. This is a handheld, just a both a handheld and a console. So but still the first full-fledged main Pokemon game on a console. So and the whole thing, I'm not really tired of Kanto. Like I know we got Mega Evolutions and Aurora forms, and I know, and plus also I've not played the post game of Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. I have beaten Sun and Moon, but I haven't really played that much Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. But I haven't really played the post game of either of those of Gen 7. So like, which I mean I played Gen 6 with had which yeah I kind of wish that we got more Mega Evolutions and more lower forms of other generations besides just like majority of them being Gen 1, especially for the lower forms. Having Pokemon Go start as just being Kanto and then adding other Pokemon over time. understand why, but like I'm not like the thing is to me it's still, like it's been 14 years since Fire Red and Leaf Green came out. Like since we journeyed into, I mean technically it's been 8 years since we journeyed into Kanto, but 14 years since we had a Gen 1 game with the whole Gen 1 story with Team Rocket wasn't Gen 2, but like the whole story of Gen 1 and everything. And because like while you did go in Kanto and Gen 2, but like the whole story was more of in Johto. Like I mean, yes, you went to Kanto and battled the gym leaders and all that, but the majority of the story still happened in Johto with even with it was Team Rocket. Like the majority of Gen 2 happened in Johto, like the story wise. Which I mean, the first few generations story wise is not much, but still like this is the first Pokemon game where you're journeying into like the same story as like Gen 1 and everything since Fire Red and Leaf Green, which I can see why you guys tired. Which, and like I said, I have a friend who's really really excited for this because Kanto is his second favorite Pokemon generation after Gen 4, so and everything. So because he really likes Platinum, like I mentioned earlier. And actually, when I said Black and White, actually technically it would be X and Y. So he said he just started playing X. Actually, he said he just started playing X and Y for the first time. But he hasn't played a Pokemon game before then since Black and White. So that's, and like I said, he never played Sun and Moon. So and he just started playing Pokemon X. So I can see why he's super excited for it, and plus he grew up with Gen 1 so which I'm pretty sure like most of us here, at least I know at least the TheJamesRolls said he grew up a little bit with Pokemon Yellow, which actually my first Pokemon game wasn't, I don't think it was Pokemon Yellow, but I think mine was like either the original Red or Blue. I think it was either Red or Blue. I don't remember which version exactly because it's been so long. Like it was before Ruby and Sapphire originally came out. Is when I played the original Pokemon games. It was before the original Ruby and Sapphire. Like before 2003, I played when I got Sapphire at least. Because I know I got Sapphire as Sapphire was my first Pokemon game I like physically myself owned. Red and Blue and Gold and Silver before Sapphire, because they were actually my older sister's copies because they grew up with Pokemon. Especially because they grew up with Gen 1 and 2. They grew up a little bit of Gen 3, so they're kind of like the old school Pokemon fans who grew up with Gen 1 and 2, pretty well. But they grew up with Gen 3 a little bit too, and then after that, because their last game was Heart Gold Soul Silver, my sisters. But I don't think they ever played the Gen 4 games of Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. So, which I know they're not really. I don't. Which they're not really that big Pokemon fans anyway. They're just were pretty big fans when they were younger with Gen 1 and Gen 2 because they're a few years older than me and all that. So they kind of grew up with Gen 1 and Gen 2. So, and a little bit of Gen 3 because I'm guaranteed. If you tell them Gen 4 Pokemon, they won't know. But they know some Gen 3 Pokemon, so. But yeah. But I'm excited for this because unlike Pancake Ornament and the TheJamesRolls, I'm not really tired of Kanto. That's the thing because Kanto's one of my favorite. Like I said, my third favorite after Emerald and after Heart Gold Soul Silver. The region wise. Because part of that, I think part of that is also Fire Red Leaf Green because I do really love Fire Red and Leaf Green and all that, and just also the last few Pokemon games I haven't really been enjoying, especially the Gen 7 because Gen 7 just I think part of the reason I didn't like Gen 7, two things I didn't like about Gen 7, Pokemon Trials, I'd rather have the gyms than Pokemon Trials, and two, which I mean we did say gyms are coming back, but number two is the Wolfton deck. I hated the Wolfton. I don't hate Wolfton as a Pokemon. I just hate the Wolfton deck. I wish it was just a normal Pokemon. Not normal Pokédex, I mean. And I just want Wolfton to just be a normal Pokemon and not be a Pokédex. Because and was because the world Tom was super annoying and everything. Like, geez, come on. But anyways, but yeah, but I'm glad that they're like bringing gyms back because that was like one of the like that's one thing I didn't really like about. Which I mean, it was fine not having gyms because of the first game. They're just trying it out, see Gen 7 something new. But at the same time, I prefer the gyms. Like it just feels weird. I mean, it's not to feel weird, just that I don't think they were as good at the gym. Like the trials in Sun and Moon, what was an interesting idea and everything. I really don't like. I just really wanted to just to battle, trainers and then the gym leader and all that. Like, normally, and also like the Pokemon gym moves inside. Well, also like the battling. Always like the battling musical gyms, but gym leaders. But like the actual gym when you walk in, especially in the classic Game Boy, which I made a tweet about earlier today. Well, taking it yesterday now because after midnight now. But yeah, like I'm glad that gyms are returning for that and everything, and I'm kind of bummed down about the whole catching system. But like this game could be like up there with Hot Gold Soul Silver. But I don't think it will now because of the whole catching system, like the whole only no wild encounters might ruin it for me. I don't know. I mean, we'll figure. I mean, I do really like Kanto and all that, but the whole catching system may not. It might not be one of the best Pokemon games. Even though I'm really excited for this game and all, I still wish that they still had the whole wild catching system and all that. Which I know I've been talking about my Final Thoughts for a while. I just want to just go with everything. I'm not excited for this game. I'm kind of disappointed with the whole casting system and all that. I do like the whole Joy-Con, throwing the Joy-Con, and the whole, having the Pokeball and all that and everything. So yeah, I've been talking for a while on this, so I think I'd be done. I don't and everything because I pretty much talked about a lot of stuff, and I probably can go on for multiple hours now. But I'm just gonna have the rest of you talk now.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. This may be the Pokemon game that finally makes me a hardcore fan of the series. Like, I enjoyed X, Gale of Darkness, and from what I played with Yellow. But they weren't enough to like make me like really big fans of the series. I think this might finally be the game that makes me a hardcore fan. So I'm really excited for this. And I'm really excited that Eevee is going to be on the box art of a Pokemon game. Like, I know I've criticized the series before about having multiple versions, but if they did multiple versions of this game so that they could have Eevee on the box art, I'm perfectly fine with that. So I guess that leads to one more question. Are you guys going to get a Pikachu or Eevee version?
Pikachu, because it's kind of like a Yellow remake, so I might as well just make it a full-on Yellow remake and get the Pikachu version.
I'm definitely going to get the Eevee version because I want to be different. I want to be away from the crowd, I want to get the one that probably not a whole lot of people will get. So, yeah.
I do like Pikachu and Eevee. Well, like the thing is, I played used Eevee quite a bit, and the thing is, I do like how Eevee can like transform into different Pokemon and everything. Besides just one line, it is really cool and all. But like at the same time, they did, which I'm wondering how they'll do if they're gonna have like the other version. Like I talked about this with a friend, the same friend I was been talking about in this video that I know. Like how are they gonna like? Because in red, blue, yellow, and not gold, red, blue, yellow, and the fire red, leaf green, they had an Eevee in Celadon City we can get and everything. And we were talking about. I wonder, say if you get Let's Go Eevee, wonder if maybe there's like a special Pikachu at Celadon. But then if you get Let's Go Pikachu, if Eevee will be at Celadon City or not, at the same place or not. Of course, at the same time, they're making Eevee as a starter. So like, I wonder if they're gonna if they're gonna even have that at all, then or they're just gonna take that out or not. So that like, which if I'm able to get an Eevee in still there, or Pikachu if because what we're talking about if that does happen, if they even do that, which would be cool if they did that, having it have the other one that you don't choose to Celadon City. So like, but the thing is, I am planning on getting Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu because Pikachu and Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green and everything. And it's really cool and it's nice to have. Like Pikachu is just really nice Pokemon to have it was like one of my main team members and one of my a few of my playthroughs, not all of them, but some of my playthroughs of Fire Red and Leaf Green that had Pikachu as and also Yellow obviously Pikachu. I used Pikachu and Yellow as well because Pokemon Yellow we start with Pikachu anyway, no matter what. But yeah, that'd be nice to like. I'm planning on getting Let's Go Pikachu, and everything. Unless that'd be nice if we were able to get the other one in Celadon City, like how they did with in the Gen 1 games where you get Eevee at Celadon City. So we'll see if they do that or not. Which I doubt they'll do that. Just know what they'll do. But I am getting Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. So.
I kind of figured you'd get the Pikachu version, considering your profile is Pikachu. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Let's Go Eevee because Eevee is my favorite Pokemon, and I'm not shy to admit that Eevee is awesome. I'm looking forward to this game, and that's pretty much all that we have to say about this game. So thank you all so much for watching our discussion for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. I'm Lady Gear to you, and they are
TheJamesRolls,
Pancake Armor Man.
Always gaming, and we're out.